Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel, September 30th, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, I've gone back on some footage going back to when we had that very large X flare. And as you can see, scrolling across your screen, I was able to obtain some high definition photographs that were kind of hidden away in some of the NASA footage. And I started reviewing the material about 3 days ago. And clearly, very clearly, we can see a very large spherical body in the upper left-hand corner of the sun. And I captured all of these on the SDO. Now, I've also been trying to work with some high-definition programs so I can get the pictures to be a little more clear for all of you, and also myself. Now, again, I went back to beginning of September when we had this massive X flare. I was able to find some additional footage from you-know-who, and lo and behold, as I went through the material, I was able to locate these massive bodies around our sun at the exact same time that we're having X flares in the magnitude of 9.3, I believe was the highest one that they recorded, but there were many. I also found some footage from the Japanese space satellite Hinode, and what you're seeing now is an X-ray video taken by that satellite on September 10th, and what they were recording was also this massive X flare and CME. Now, this footage was very hard to work with. I actually had to convert it into some high definition video so we can actually view it and we can see what is actually there. Now, some may tell you that this is a coronal prominence. But ladies and gentlemen, within that coronal prominence, you're looking at a very large spherical body. Very large. Larger than the planet Jupiter. Now, this is the same object that I've been capturing moving along the equator of the sun. And as you can see, this object, it appears to be, well, kind of enveloped in a little cloud of gas, naturally, because it is so close to the sun. Here is the clearest zoomed in version of this object, and this proves to me that this is not a coronal prominence because it's a solid body. It's a solid mass. Now, these were more X-ray photographs that the Hinode spacecraft, the Japanese spacecraft, took. Now, these are hard to get hard to get your hands on, and I was able to convert these into high definition. And again, we're looking at a completely, perfectly spherical object, not flowing plasma that you would normally see on the sun. And I was also able to obtain actual video of what they were recording, and we'll be taking a look at that also. It's quite incredible because you can actually see these objects, or this object, moving away from the sun, kind of in an orbit, as we could say. And there's no doubt in my mind, there's no doubt, these are solid structures, solid objects. They're not part of this coronal prominence, as debunkers or naysayers will argue. There's no way that they can say that these objects are part of that prominence, because they are not. Now, we're going to be getting into some of this video. I had to convert this video to high definition, and that's what was holding me up. But I was able to do it. And this was converting the X-ray images, the X-ray video from the Hinode Japanese spacecraft into the high definition so I can actually see what was happening. And you can see right here with your own eyes this object moving out from behind the sun. And the sun is the large black mass that is encompassing the whole entire left side of your screen. Now, I've taken this imaging and changed the coloring a little bit, again, just to bring out these objects so we could see them more clearly. Now, this was right during the massive X flare, and there was another body you can see right where the arrow was, another round body that appeared in the flash of this massive X flare. These flashes of light, they actually shed light on what we're looking for. There's no doubt about it. Now again, we're looking at this in a little bit of a different wavelength and also in the highest definition that I could get for this this part of the video. You can see again the object is moving outward, back away from the sun. It's not a coronal prominence. Now here is a zoomed in still photograph. Again, you can't deny that's a solid object. It's not flowing like you would see a prominence on the sun. If you want to look up coronal prominences, just Google it, take a look at some video and some photographs for yourself, and then you'll start to see that these are solid objects. There's no doubt about it. Now, I was also able to capture some more high definition video that was being recorded by NASA, and it was all based on these X flares. And ladies and gentlemen, these X flares were massive, and these were the highest definition photographs that I could capture, and I wanted to share these with you because this X flare, they rated it as like a 9.3. That's very dangerous for our planet if we were directly facing that when it occurred. Thankfully, we were not. But what I'm trying to find out, what I'm trying to investigate, more and more of these massive disturbances on the sun. Scientists are claiming that we've already entered the grand solar minimum when the sun should be less active. Less active? Less active? It's more active than I've ever seen it. And again, you're looking at some very high definition photographs of this X flare. And I just happened to stumble on them while I was searching for the Hinode Japanese space satellite footage. It's pretty intriguing. And at the end here, I've put together some video that I've captured of this massive Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been some of the best Planet X evidence and information that I've captured in probably the last year. And during my Planet X investigations and research, I've been finding quite a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, if you absolutely do not believe that this can all be happening, you better think again. If you think that there cannot be any type of other planetary objects, stellar objects within our solar system, passing by, making a biblical appearance, think again. As I've stated before, you're going to have to start thinking outside of the box and with an open mind. The X-flares that occurred in the beginning of September, once again, they could have been very detrimental to our planet, our existence. We are already seeing so many anomalies, weather-related, our oceans rising, receding, hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes, volcanoes, earthquakes, volcanoes. It's all happening right in front of our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. The stage has been set, but the big problem is we just don't have any aspect of timing. So therefore, you have to stay up on this information. You have to keep on investigating and researching. You never know. You may find that critical point. And ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you share my videos with your friends, your family members, on Facebook, on Twitter. Maybe even get an opportunity to sit them down and let them watch the evidence for themselves and explain things. You may just find yourself waking someone up.